Amigos, welcome one, welcome all. It's time for another exciting edition of, you guessed it, the show with no name. So hold on to your hats, because it's time for liftoff.
T-minus 10,
9, 8,
7,
7, 6.
5,
Come on, I need your help, folks.
3, 2, 1.
We got this.
0. Ignition. Liftoff.
Come on.
Liftoff. 30 minutes left.
Come on.
Get ready. Hold on to your hats. Strap on your seatbelt. Fasten your seatbelts. Hold on to your hats. Get ready for the ride of your life. The show with no name time. On Vaughn Radio. It's the show with no name.
Come on. Let's go. Welcome, show with no namers. Time for another exciting edition of the show with no name here on Vaughn Radio, where we've been here at this time slot. We use the word hueco, right? We say slot, ranura de tiempo. So we've been at this time slot for over 15, I think we're going on 16 years. I lost count. Well, I can tell you what, folks. This week we are celebrating our anniversary, the show with no name. It started this week in 2008. Oh my God. I don't even want to do the math. 2008. I mean, I was a different person. Of course I was. I hope so. I hope you've evolved as I have in the last 20 years. 15, 20 years. Oh my God, I feel old. Well, welcome, my amigos. Welcome. I hope you guys are doing well. And I hope you're ready to rock and roll, because I've got a lot of challenges lined up for you. We're going to learn English with music, movies, humor, a little bit of history, some fun facts, and all that jazz. Una expresión que vimos la semana pasada. And all that jazz y todo eso. All right, amigos. Well, I think we're going to kick things off with a listening exercise. It's called the Say What Soundbite. Say what? What? All right, amigos, we've got our Say What soundbite here today. Now, this is a very unique accent. Well, not unique, but it's very marked, you know? Some people, it's hard to tell. Es difícil, no, acertar. But this one, man, it's really, really particular. I mean, there's no mistaking it here. So I'm especially curious today to see if you can identify where this person is from. based on their accent. As always, you'll get 4 chances. That's right, 4 chances to write down every single word you hear. Initially, I just want you to tell me what you heard in your best English. I think that's pretty easy. I think anybody with a basic level should be able to do that. All right, also a quick reminder before I forget. The question of the week, this week's question of the week is, when you've got an issue at home, maybe, something goes wrong, something breaks, algo se avería, do you fix it yourself? Are you a handyman or a handy woman? Manitas, you say the same thing. Handy, a handyman? Or are you a call the guy kind of guy or gal? Llama al tío. Llama al que se encarga de esto. Well, I think of my grandpa. My grandpa, he was really good at what he knew how to do, which was medicine. He was a pharmacist. So he knew about people skills. He knew about all kinds of medicines. He knew about ailments, males, enfermedades. And he was an expert. I mean, there's a reason he built his life and his fortune on that. But don't ask him to, take a look under the hood of the car. Que mirara debajo del capó del coche. Because he would be lost. Or don't tell him, oh, the lawnmower's broken. The lawnmower, el cortacésped. Because my grandfather, again, he had a lot of strengths, a lot. But he was not a handyman. It wasn't something he did. So I think of my grandfather as the perfect type that says, I'll call the guy. And for several reasons. He said, I know what I know. And those people are experts in what they know. So instead of wasting my time and possibly doing it wrong, because we all know this, sometimes when we try to be too much of a handyman, right? Sometimes we make the problem worse. We exacerbate the problem, right? So naturally, obviously there are more serious things where you need a professional, such as, you got a pipe, una tubería that bursts, que explota. Well, that's definitely a case for an expert, some electricity, things like that. Now, on the other side of that coin, I have a friend named Sean who refuses to call the guy. He'll spend days, hours. He'll go to 10 different stores looking for a piece, una pieza, because he insists that he wants to do it himself. And he sees it as a challenge. So what kind are you? Which way do you lean? ¿A qué lado te inclinas tú? Are you the person who says, I think I can fix this? Or are you instantly looking in the yellow pages, or not the, ya no usamos la guía telefónica, but you catch my drift. Are you instantly looking for a phone number or somebody who can come and fix it? So that is your question of the week. Remember, you can record it on your phone, which I think all of you know how to record voice notes. And you can send it over to my email address, which is aalonso@grupovon.com. Again, A, sin espacios, sin guiones, sin nada, sin puntos. Alonso son 2 A's. Alonso@grupovon.com. All right. And keep it at around a minute. I think with a minute, you've got more than enough time to get your point across, right? Para comunicar tu idea. So what kind of person are you? Are you a handyman? Do you like to fix things yourself? Or do you call a professional when things go wrong? And as always, explain your answer. Because if you explain your answer, well, that's the whole idea. You got to be able to defend your answer. All right, amigos. And you can send that to me. Send it to me before Thursday evening, and you get to practice your speaking every week. As you guys know, I will give you my feedback. A nice round of applause for Anix, Chris Valrol, Marisol, and Nuria. We have thousands of listeners, but only 4 were brave enough, lo suficientemente valiente, to speak in English here on the radio. So kudos to you, because that's a huge step. Anix, Chris Valrol, Marisol, Nuria. And speaking of Anix, Anix has already sent me the one for this week. Yeah, she said, and she used the expression, the early bird gets the worm. Así que, Anix, encima te voy a dar a totally native. All right, so folks, get those to me throughout the week. And as you know, every Friday, we'll take a look at that speaking exercise. All right, now it's time for a listening exercise. It's the Say What soundbite, and here it is for the first time.
I mean, come on. What are you, suckers? From the minute you wake up in the morning, there it is. CNN, Facebook, Twitter, the violence, the mudslinging. This campaign is disgusting. I mean, Batman vs. Superman.
Alberto, estoy leyendo un cómic y me estoy dando cuenta de que todas las onomatopeyas que salen son verbos en inglés.
Of course, man. We love making it easy.
Por ejemplo, aquí pone chomp y está un animal masticando.
Sure, to chomp.
Es mascar, ¿no?
Sí, mascar. Y lo haces con tus piños. Your chompers.
Ah, chompers es los piños grandotes, ¿no? Vale, y to click, por ejemplo.
To click. Well, to click is what you do on a computer. You click. Pinchar.
Perfecto, pinchas con el ratón. Claro, tiene sentido. To gulp.
Well, before I was gulping my soda. Gulp, 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 gulp.
Claro, estás tragando como un pato.
Eso es, no es lo mismo que sip. Sorber.
Bien. To thump.
Thump. Don't thump your fist on the table. No des un pum, pum en la mesa.
De hecho, el conejito de Bambi se llamaba Thumper.
Eso es, todo tiene sentido en inglés.
Claro que sí, por eso hemos hecho el tercer libro de This Book is the Milk, que se llama This Book is the Shit. Este libro es la leche. Por Alberto Alonso
y Damián Moya.
Así da gusto aprender. Y lo sabes.
And you know it.
That's right, folks. You can pick up This Book is the Shit at baugantienda.com. Also, if you live in Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Vigo, Valladolid, Valencia, Santander, or Zaragoza, please feel free to stop by and introduce yourself. Preséntate. We'd love to meet you, and you're already part of the family if you're listening right now. Our Vaughn Radio listeners, as I always say, you guys are, you, along with our students, and many of you are students and listeners, so you've done courses with us. You guys are the ambassadors. You guys are the proof that the Vaughn method works. And even if you make a mistake or 3 or 7, your confidence is the key. The key is that you can listen and you're not afraid of missing something. Yeah, we always miss stuff. I miss things. Sometimes I'm watching a movie with my daughter and she said, "What did he just say?" And I'm like, I don't know, rewind. I missed it. So it happens. It happens to native speakers. Getting tongue-tied. You know how many times it happens to me in one show here? Getting tongue-tied, que mi boca quiere decir una cosa, ¿ves? Acaba de pasar en español. Also, when I'm flipping from English to Spanish, that makes it even more complicated. So we all get tongue-tied. We all stutter, tartamudeamos. Don't worry about all that crap. Just keep working in the right direction. And remember, you deserve to feel confident, especially if you're one of those students I mentioned who are making that effort to speak aloud week after week, day after day. You're not just here to work on your listening, which is a great thing. We can get so much more from these Vaughn Radio classes. So make sure at any point where you hear, especially, for example, here on this show, in our homophones, or in any other section where you hear something that you're like, oh, I've never heard this, say it. Anytime something sounds weird, strange, new, interesting, say it. Say it aloud. And this way, you're not just working on that ear, right? Fine-tuning your ear, but you're also working on speaking. And as we know, communication is 2 parts: listening and speaking. Listening and speaking. listening and speaking. And it's just like a ping pong game. Bop, bop, back and forth, back and forth. And you can't have one without the other. You need both sides to be able to communicate. You need to understand what someone's saying to you, and you need them to understand what you're saying to them. As we said earlier, y esto es el phrasal verb más importante para gente que está aprendiendo, to get your point across. Your goal is not to speak perfect English. What is perfect English? Does it even exist? I don't know what the fuck that is, okay? Your goal is to get your point across however you can. Now, obviously, the more you're exposed to English, the easier it's going to be to understand and to get your point across when it's time for you to talk. All right, amigos, so there you go. That's your Say What soundbite. Pretty interesting, huh? The guy sounds like quite a character. Well, I'm eager to hear your comments on the Say What soundbite. But in the meantime, we're going to move on to today's Pop Quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Yeah. Let's go. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. Pop quiz. All right, my amigos. Welcome to your pop quiz. Now, today we're not taking a look at something from one of my books. That would be the easy choice. Okay, guys, today we're going to look at something from English Everywhere. Tomorrow, English on the Go. The next day, this book is the milk. That's okay. But also, part of the reason behind this section is to introduce you guys, familiarize you with all the different materials that you can get. And some of them work on grammar. Some of them work on phrasal verbs. Some of them are all inclusive. They got a little bit of everything, like English Everywhere. My first book, you've got false friends, you've got pronunciation mistakes, you've got grammar. You've got a little bit of everything, practical phrases. So remember, whatever your needs may be, you can find answers at thevontienda.com. Take a gander. Échale un vistazo. It's vontienda.com. If you're looking for courses, remember, that is grupovon.com. Either way, I think the best thing you can do is follow us on social media, and this way you never miss a beat. And speaking of never missing a beat, well, then you'll know that we've got a trivia night coming up as well. We're all really excited, and I mean that. We have a WhatsApp group, and we are all like chomping at the bit. Estamos que no podemos, because we are excited to get together on October 7th, 2025. It's at 8 p.m., and it is going to be hosted by the lovely Jules Linares, the host of Let's Get Random. So if you can make it, we'll see you there. I know for a fact we're going to have a blast. Lo vamos a pasar bomba. All right, amigos. So what are we looking at today? We're looking at something from Essential English. Essential English is just one of the many materials that'll help you on your English journey. Now, the subtitle is El Inglés Imprescindible para Situaciones Cotidianas. And what does that mean? This is the English you need to know for every different situation that could come up in life, from birthday parties to making a sandwich to doing some sightseeing or whatever life throws your way. So as always, I want you to listen really carefully, because afterwards I'll have a couple questions for you. This is an audio excerpt from Essential English, El Inglés Imprescindible para Situaciones Cotidianas, available at Von Tienda.
Pista 66.
Meeting up with people.
Quedar con alguien. To meet up with someone.
Quedar para tomar un café. Quedar para tomar una cerveza.
To meet up for a coffee. To meet up for a beer.
Quedar para comer. Quedar para cenar.
To meet up for lunch. To meet up for dinner.
Ir a tomar un café. Ir a tomar una cerveza.
To go for a coffee. To go for a beer.
Salir a comer. Salir a cenar.
To go for lunch. To go for dinner.
I'm in town for a couple of days because I'm visiting my parents. Do you want to meet up for a coffee later?
No, I can't. Sorry. I'm really busy with work until 6 o'clock. Can you meet up for dinner?
I'm having dinner with my sister tonight, but we can meet up for a drink afterwards.
I can't because I'm meeting up for a drink with an old friend from uni. Are you free tomorrow?
Well, I'm having breakfast with my aunt, but do you want to meet up for lunch?
I'm having lunch with a client, but we can meet up afterwards.
Okay, great. Let's go for a coffee tomorrow afternoon then. It's 3 o'clock good for you?
Can we meet up a little later? How about 3:30?
Yes, that works for me.
Well, you know what? Sarah and I are going for a drink on Friday. Do you want to come?
I can't. I'm leaving first thing on Friday.
That's a shame. Well, I'll see you tomorrow at 3:30. Translation time.
1. Vamos a tomar un café luego.
We're going for a coffee later.
2. Voy a tomar una cerveza después del trabajo.
I'm going for a beer after work.
3. Van a ir a tomar algo el sábado.
They're going for a drink on Saturday.
4. ¿Quieres ir a tomar algo más tarde?
Do you want to go for a drink later?
5. ¿Quieres quedar para tomar un café?
Do you want to meet up for a coffee?
6. ¿Cuándo quieres quedar?
When do you want to meet up?
7. ¿Cuándo has quedado con tu amigo?
When are you meeting up with your friend?
8. Han quedado para tomar una cerveza esta noche.
They're meeting up for a beer tonight.
9. Hemos quedado para tomar un café mañana.
We're meeting up for a coffee tomorrow.
10. Hemos quedado para tomar un café mañana a primera hora.
We're meeting up for a coffee first thing tomorrow. Practice time.
Forma 2 tandas de frases en presente continuo. Primero usando la estructura
To meet up for.
y luego con
To go for.
1.
Paul and I, beer after work. Paul and I are meeting up for a beer after work. Paul and I are going for a beer after work.
2.
Claire and Zoe, coffee tomorrow. Claire and Zoe are meeting up for a coffee tomorrow. Claire and Zoe are going for a coffee tomorrow.
3.
Andy and Gabby, dinner tonight. Andy and Gabby are meeting up for dinner tonight. Andy and Gabby are going for dinner tonight.
4.
They, lunch on Saturday. They're meeting up for lunch on Saturday. They're going for lunch on Saturday.
5.
We, drinks, later. We're meeting up for drinks later. We're going for drinks later.
All right, there you go, folks. Very practical, especially in Spain, donde quedamos a tomar algo. That's like a hobby in this country. I think it's great, believe me, because in the United States, it's always, oh, let's go to the movies, let's go to the theater, let's go to the mall. And here it's just like, let's have a chat and share a coffee. Not share it, share the same coffee, but you get what I'm saying. It's not so much about doing some big, elaborate plan, spending tons of money. Long live consumerism. Que viva el consumerismo, right? El consumismo, is that how you say it? We say consumerism. But you guys, I mean, you could literally, I remember when I moved here being so impressed that you guys could get together, otra forma de decirlo, with some friends and have a coffee for 2 hours. And that's the activity. You don't have to actually be doing something. So let's put you to the test. The first one, I want you to use this structure in the past. So ayer, hace 2 días, el verano pasado, quedé. You can use, please try and use it in a real context. And you can say, quedé con mi amiga, quedé con un primo, whatever. Piénsalo. Hace poco, ¿con quién quedaste? So that's the first one. I want to see if you can conjugate that very popular structure that we heard many times in the audio. So ayer quedé para tomar un café. You can, the idea is to use quedar en pasado. Okay? And you use that in Spanish. He quedado, vamos a quedar mañana I had a student say, I love staying with my friends. Me gusta quedar. No, to stay es como estar con ellos, pero no alejarme de ellos. So it's a little bit different, that one. It's not the word stay here. All right, the second one. I want you to ask me si quiero tomar algo contigo. Ahora, I don't want you to specify whether it's food or drink. Just tell me, Alberto, ¿quieres tomar algo? O puedes tomar algo pasado mañana. That's up to you. And the third one was not in the audio, but I want to see if you know it, porque muchas veces cuando quedamos nos ponemos al día. So that is number 3. Number 1, use in the past tense, quedé con unos amigos, con mi prima, con mi hija, whatever. The second one is, invítame a tomar algo. And the third one, use ponerse al día. All right, folks, we'll be right back with the second part of today's show with no name. So stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to part 2 of today's show with no name here on Vaughn Radio. Don't forget, we got a brand new show. Well, the show is the same name. We got a brand new host, I should say. And it's Ale in Speaking with Confidence. Have you guys tuned in? Have you listened to Ale's show, Speaking with Confidence? She is taken over for, toma, verbo compuesto. She's taken over for Gretchen. Reemplazando? For now, I don't know, long term here. But I do know that you guys can give her a nice warm welcome the way you always make me feel warm and fuzzy inside. So tune in. In fact, you don't even really have to do anything. Just stay tuned after today's show, and you'll hear that amazing program, Speaking with Confidence, hosted by Ale. Before this show, you can learn English with the master. That's right. His name is Fitz. He is our teacher trainer. And there isn't one teacher at Vaughn who hasn't gone through the Fitz filter. And you can have an hour master class with Fitz every day on No Excuses. What a way to warm up for this show. I couldn't think of a better way to warm up for this show. Also, you got the Pro Bow show. You want to wake up? You want a big double espresso every morning? That's Rob Graham's. Hey, Rob Graham's equals double espresso. He'll give you that energy, that oomph you need to start your day. And you know you're going to laugh and learn with Rob. Again, it's an honor to be among so many amazing people and teachers. I don't think they're just amazing teachers. That's one thing. Yeah, you can be an amazing teacher and be a shitty person, right? We've seen it with a lot of celebrities. Oh, he's a great footballer, but he's a fucking asshole, right? Well, in this case, they're not just good teachers. They are all amazing people. I can vouch for them. Apúntate esa. To vouch, pues un voucher es un vale. Right? So I can vouch for them as pongo la mano en el fuego. I can vouch for all of not just the ones here on Vaughn Radio, but all our teachers in Valladolid, our teachers in Valencia. Again, if you want more information, you can drop us a line on our social media channels, or you can stop by the website, grupovaughn.com, where it says contact us, or drop by. Stop by, pop by. Las tres significan pásate. Doesn't matter how you use it. Stop by, pop by, drop by, pop in, stop in, drop in. O sea, esos tres se pueden usar con by o in y significa pásate. So what I recommend when that happens, when you've got 3 or 4 different options on how you can say something, choose the one that makes more sense to you. Understand them all, because some people will say, I popped by, but you weren't there. I popped in, but you weren't home. So just be aware that you will hear them all, but you don't have to use all of them. You can just use the one that kind of works for you, the one that you have to think about the least. All right, amigos, I see we've got a lot of participation, and we're going to check in with our show with no namers in just a moment. First, let me give you the Say What soundbite. I'm going to give it to you for the second time now, and we'll see your observations. Then we're going to check your pop quiz answers as well. All right, is everybody ready? Here's your Say What soundbite for the second time.
I mean, come on. What are you, suckers? From the minute you wake up in the morning, there it is. CNN, Facebook, Twitter, the violence, the mudslinging. This campaign is disgusting. I mean, Batman versus Superman.
Hey, Damian, what's crack-a-lackin', buddy?
Hey, Alberto, I was planning to do some sports this week. What about playing baseball?
Ooh, baseball. I love it. But I'm not sure yet. Can we touch base next week?
Touch base. Estamos en contacto, ¿no? Hablamos en algún momento. Yeah, okay. Let's touch base. Okay, what about basketball? Do you want to play basketball?
Oh, man, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. But I don't know if I can this weekend because I've already got plans. Oh, man, that's the way the ball bounces.
That's the way the ball bounces. Así están las cosas, ¿no? Así bota la pelota. Así bota la pelota. That's the way the ball bounces. I love that expression. Okay, what about tennis? Do you want to play tennis?
Well, I love tennis, but I'm not really a good player. If you don't mind playing with a novice, the ball's in your court, buddy.
La bola está en mi campo, ¿eh? La pelota está en mi tejado. All right. Do you want to play some soccer?
Sure, I'd love to play some soccer, or football as you call it. What time do we kick off?
Perfect. We're kicking off at 9. Are you available?
Sure, but I might have to play some golf before with some friends. It's par for the course.
It's par for the course. Es lo normal, ¿no? Es lo normalito, lo que se hace.
Mhm.
Okay, what about billiards? Do you like playing billiards?
Yeah, but right now I'm behind the 8 ball.
I'm behind the 8 ball. Estás detrás de la bola 8, como que llevas las de perder.
Yeah, wow, a lot of idiomatic expressions here.
Muy buenas expresiones. Si es que así de gusto aprender inglés con un profe como Alberto y un poquito de creatividad, tienes This Book is the Shit. El mejor libro para aprender inglés que te has echado a la cara in your life. Píllatelo, vas a disfrutar mogollón de dibujos para que lo aprendas todo fácil, con conexiones lógicas y divertidas. Es la manera más sencilla y más divertida de aprender inglés. No te la pierdas.
Damian, you're such a good sport. Te enrollas. You can pick up your copy of This Book is the Shit at
Vaughantienda.com.
It's the Shit.
That's right, folks. This book is the shit. It's available at Von Tienda, along with all my other books, English everywhere. This book is the milk. This book is the milk too. And also English on the go, which is about discovering things as we travel on the go. Por ahí, right? I always say the world is your classroom if you want it to be. Yeah, well, you got to be in the right mindset. You know, I see it with my daughter. She's always looking, scanning. Oh, Papi, what's this? Daddy, what's the other? And I'm like, that's every time she asks me a question, you know what I say? Thanks for asking me, honey. Why? Because we reward curiosity. You know, I know they say curiosity killed the cat. Well, poor cat. Sorry, I feel really bad about that, but we're not going to stop being curious. Hell no. Hell will know, as we say. All right, let's see who's with us here. We've got a lot of students checking in. I see a lot of awesome people here on board. There she is, Anix. What's up, Anix? You are officially the early bird, not just because you're the first one to comment, but you've also participated in the question of the week. You've checked it off the list. You've gotten it out of the way. Lo has quitado del medio. Great job. And up next, we got Born to Iron Man. He says, morning, friends. Morning to you, Born to Iron Man. I know you are ready to rock and you are chomping at the bit, right? Chomping. Piensa, to chomp at the bit, it's like the horse. The bit is the thing that goes by the horse's mouth. It's like, estoy que no puedo. No aguanto más, right? Ansioso. So don't worry, I am too. We're all chomping at the bit to get moving and learning and laughing. And before we know it, the show's over. Believe me, 2 hours, you're like, oh, wow, we've got all the time in the world. Do we? Do we really? 2 hours flies by, my amigos. Let's see. Chris Valrol, she says, morning, amazing show with no-namers. Great to see you. And great to see you're a little bit better, Alberto. Yeah, I'm almost there. Again, I feel fine. It's just annoying. It's un poco molesto, you know? Sitting here, you know, just hearing my voice reverberate in my head, just echoing. It's not the best thing. But listen, if we put it on a scale, I'm like 95 right now, 95% better. Just got a little bit of phlegm in there. And believe me, I spent the weekend taking baths, hot baths, baños calientes. I also have been drinking tea nonstop, getting plenty of vitamin D, sitting in the sun. So this is me taking care of myself, drinking lots of water, and I feel fine. So again, it's just probably sounds weird because I'm still a bit congested, but thank you for your concern. And I'm excited to be here. I am chomping at the bit, as I said. Si no te aprendes ninguna expresión hoy, aprende chomping at the bit. Ahora, los británicos dicen champing, como C-H-A-M-P, y nosotros decimos chomp, C-H-O-M-P, como chomp, chomp, chomp. Y chompers, as you heard, with Damián Piñones. Nice chompers. Me acuerdo de la película Something About Mary. There's Something About Mary, clásico, ¿no? Cameron Diaz, Matt Dillon, and he gets these fake teeth put in, remember? She goes, oh, chompers, how's chompers? And they call him chompers. All right, great to see so many amazing students joining us. Let's see, Anix has got something to say about our Say What soundbite today. She says, I heard a British man. Nope, he's not British. He's not British. He's from my country. I'll give you a clue. He's from my country and not far away from where I was born. Okay. In fact, you can tell in the way he says the word suckies. Did you catch that word? What does he say when he says the word suckies? Because it's not the traditional pronunciation, if there is one. He says suckies. Suckies. He says at the beginning, I mean, come on, what are you, suckies? All right, let's see. She says he's talking about a campaign and things related to it aren't being done well. I guess it's about elections. Well, yeah, that's the joke. Because you think he's talking about elections. You know, he said, this is disgusting. I imagine this comedy sketch happened during an election period, maybe the last one, right? And in the end, he's not talking about the elections. He's talking about Batman versus Superman. Versus, I would say, but he said verse. Okay. So, that's the kind of the funny part. He's like, what is going on here? Come on, Batman versus. And you thought he was going to say Biden, Trump, or something like that, right? So great, good to hear. Anix, the only thing is he is not British because the British don't say suckies. You suckies. Oh, it's a very, I recognize that sound really well. All right. Let's see. There's lovely Laura joining us. Hello, Laura. She says, good morning, lovely show with no namers. I'm stoked to be able to join you for a while. I've missed you. Well, you got yourself a totally native stoked. Motivada, con muchas ganas. I am stoked. I'm psyched. I'm pumped. Tres formas de decir estoy mentalizada. Estoy lista para acción. Great, Laura. I don't doubt it for a second. All right, let's see. We've got Chris Valrol participating in today's pop quiz. She says, 2 years ago, I met up with my cousin in Gijón. Good. Es como una sola. Met up with. I met up with. Porque es meet, met. Okay? So I met up with my cousin. Okay, great. The next one, she says, Alberto, do you want to go for a drink next month? All right. But remember, I wanted it to be a little bit broader, un poco más amplio. It's correct, quieres tomar algo, pero yo me refiero a tomar algo, puede ser comida o bebida, no, cuando no especificamos. Okay? But it's correct. Your sentence is correct, Chris. And she says, we can catch up. A mí me encanta. De hecho, siempre lo dices. Es de cajón. Quedas con un amigo. Hey, man, it was great catching up. It was great catching up with you. We need to catch up. Okay? Y sí, suena como ketchup, right? Ketchup, lo que pones en las patatas fritas. All right, Chris, knocking it out of the park. I love it. There's lovely Laura participating in our pop quiz. She says, 2 weeks ago, I met up for coffee with a friend I hadn't seen in a long time. Y eso es cuando decimos long time no see. ¿Cuánto tiempo? También se puede emplear long time no speak. Long time no write, si es por escrito. Okay, so esa estructura nos vale para varios cuánto tiempos. Okay? Let's see. Then she says, Alberto, why don't we meet up for lunch and catch up? Excellent. But again, I'm looking for vamos a tomar algo, pero no especifica si es comer, si beber. So, but it's correct. Again, it's grammatically correct, pero entonces es específico. Yo ya lo tengo cerrado de entre la 1:30 y 3:30, quedaremos. Okay? And she says, I have to fill you in on a lot of things. Excellent. To catch up, ponernos al día. To fill you in, ponerte al día. Excellent stuff. Wow. Excellent. Let's see. Anik says, I met up with some friends on Friday. What better day? Is there a better day to meet up with friends than on a Friday? The beer tastes better. There's just some different energy in the air. Let's see. The next one, Anik says, hey, Alberto, when can we meet up? It's been ages. We need to catch up. All right. All right. Excellent job. But nobody's given me the tomamos algo que sin especificar. All right. Well, don't worry. We'll get to it. We will get to it. There's Vero. Vero says, morning, beautiful show with no namers around the universe and beyond. Long time no see. My bad. Ojo, Vero lo ha puesto antes de que yo lo he dicho. Así que long time no see. She says, me and my family are having a rough time since my daddy passed away 5 months ago. I'm really sorry to hear that, Vero, and I feel your pain. My wife's mother, my mother-in-law, I didn't really mention it on social media or anything. Actually, I don't even use social media very much. But my mother-in-law passed away this summer, and it was it's still there. I mean, it's fresh. So I feel your pain and my condolences. Yeah, we lost my mother-in-law this summer very suddenly, and she was the glue. No, pegamento. And I'll never forget when we broke the news to my daughter, cuando ya lo contamos a Larita, and her reaction was priceless. So we said, abuela, we're not going to see her anymore because, and she said, ¿Quién va a hacer mi sopita? And she cried for an hour straight. ¿Quién va a hacer mi sopita? Who's going to make my soup? So I'm almost in tears over here just thinking about it. Yes, it's very, very sad, and wishing you all the strength in the world. Let's see. Laura says, I heard a man who initially seems disappointed. She's talking about the Say What soundbite at someone because of their non-proactive attitude. Yeah, they're inactive. They're sitting on their hands. However, at the end of his speech, he seems to have been joking as he compares Superman to Batman. That's right. It is definitely a joke. So yeah, you can hear too the laugh. So it's I guess it's safe to say that this person is a stand-up comedian, un cómico, right? So let's see. Chris Valrol says, I heard an American man whose accent I can't pinpoint. Great vocabulary. He sounds outraged, right? Enfadadísimo. Great vocabulary, Chris. He talks about violence in social media, among other things. All right, well, I can tell you guys, this guy's from New York. All right? This guy is from New York. And instead of saying suckers, mamones, pringaos, I think would be the good translation. Pringao, mamon. Like the rest of the United States says suckers, but in New York they say suckers. These guys are suckers. Oh man, I remember when I was preparing it the other day, I was cracking up because it just reminds me of how half of my friends speak. You guys are suckers. What are you doing? So it definitely is a New York accent. Let's see what else we've got over here. Anix says, Vero and Alberto, I feel your pain too. My father passed away this summer too. It still hurts. Of course, and it will. With time, it gets a little easier, but the void, el vacío, is still there, right? The void will be there forever. And when do you notice it? My daughter's birthday party this year. I'm like, abuela, no, or for example, a zipper on one of my sweatshirts, on one of my hoodies, and these capuchas broke. And the first thought I had was, oh, we got to bring it to abuela. Never mind. So it gets easier, but the void never goes away. There's always going to be that empty seat, even though the seat gets filled with, a new baby down the road and the family grows in other ways. It's a void that's hard to fill, impossible to fill. So, all right, let's see. Chris Valrol says, sorry, I'm trying my best, but the power has gone out twice and my laptop is plugged in. If you see that suddenly I beat it, it's because of that. And she says, oh, I'm so sorry, Vero and AA and Anix. Yeah, well, you know what? The important thing is that I think all three of us and anyone, which is all of us, when anyone who's ever lost someone, I think it should teach you one thing: to value the people around you, to not take them for granted, darlos por sentados, infravalorarlos, because here one day, gone the next day, So, all right, let's see. Laura says, oh, it's so sad. My heart goes out to Diana and the whole family. Thank you. And te doy otro totally native. Mis sentimientos. My heart goes out to somebody. If your heart goes out to somebody, it's empatizo con esa persona. If you guys remember, Elon Musk, who I'm not going to defend in any way, shape, or form. I don't love him and I don't hate him. I just wish he would leave me alone. Not be in my timeline on X or on Twitter. And what was I saying here? I forgot what I was going to tell you about Elon Musk. See, it slipped my mind. Oh, that's what it was. Right. So do you guys remember Elon Musk did something and then the media, which you shouldn't trust them, they're paid for by big corporations. The media said that he was doing the Nazi salute, the Heil Hitler thing. When, if you watch the video, he was saying, my heart goes out to you. My heart goes, you can manipulate. I'm not defending, again, you'll never hear me defend a billionaire, a tech bro billionaire. Not Bezos, not Gates, not any of these fuckers. These I think most of them are kitty fiddlers. Kitty fiddlers, que tocan niños. Yeah, they're all, to not get sued, para que no me denuncien, allegedly kitty fiddlers, right? But it's true that he did say, he was saying, my heart goes out to you. O sea, estoy con vosotros, os acompaño, right? And everyone's like, he's doing the Nazi salute. It just shows you can take anything out of context if you'd like. So, all right, folks, I'll tell you what, I can't believe it. We have to go to our next commercial break here on the Show with No Name. Time is just flying by. And we've got a lot of stuff to cover in the second half of today's show. So much participation, so many people learning English and laughing with us here on the Show with No Name. It feels good. Feels great. All right, folks, you know what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but we'll be right back with the second half of today's Show with No Name. So, stick around. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Show with No Name on Vaughn Radio. Great to see you all here with bells on. With bells on, con muchas ganas. Don't forget, you got amazing programs all afternoon. You've got Speaking with Confidence with Ale. You got the Lunchtime Show. You got Ruby Show. Don't forget about the Salad with Dave Boys. You never know what to expect. I think he even surprises himself. Seriously. He's a genius, IMO, in my opinion. He can improvise, do voices. That's Dave Boys. You've also got Kyle Miller, my great friend Kyle Miller from Canada. in his program, Drive Time. Tons of challenges to get you through your commute home. And then, when you get home, take your shoes off, relax, kick your feet up, sit back, and have a cocktail with Chris in Frankly Speaking. And don't forget about the one and only Richard Vaughn in Richard Vaughn Live. You've also got Jessica Fernandez in the Hour to Empower. You can get all these programs on the Vaughn Radio app, or you can download them wherever you listen to podcasts. All right, let's kick things off with a section we call Homophones on the Show with No Name.
Homophones on the show with no name. It's homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. Homophones on the show with no name. Cause homophones time, cause homophones rhyme. They sound the same on the show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name. The show with no name.
All right, amigos, that's right. It is Homophones only on the show with no name. All right, let's take a look at these words that I've chosen for you today. A, I want to know if you're familiar with the words, and B, do they sound exactly the same? So if you said them without context, I wouldn't know which word you were saying. The first one is dados. Dados. That's right. Have you ever played la oca? Well, la oca, you play with one, pero algunos se juegan con dados, plural. We looked at the singular the last week. Remember, I said, you want to die? Que es la misma palabra que morir, right? Remember the joke? I said, you want to die? Y le das a alguien un dado. All right, well, this is the plural. Okay, dados. También sería la tercera persona del verbo trocear, cortar en dados. Right? Makes sense. Y luego veremos una expresión supernativa también. Okay, varias. We'll look at a few different ones, okay, with that word. So the first word, dados. If you've ever played games, then you have rolled. El verbo que usamos es roll the. My daughter knows this one really well. Well, we play a lot of games. What better way to learn than playing games? So she knows it. She even does the winner, winner, chicken dinner when she rolls the. Okay. Y también, como en español, tiene que ver con echar la suerte está echada, all this stuff. Okay. De hecho, la suerte está echada es the die, es una, no es plural. The die is cast. O sea, está lanzado el dado, ya está en el aire, ya no se puede hacer nada. All right, so the plural of that is the one I'm looking for, okay? Dados, dados. And the second word is morir, pero en tercera persona. Okay? So, alguien muere, I didn't plan that, by the way, cada verano. Por ejemplo, someone, so es la palabra morir, pero con S, ¿ok? Para que estemos claros aquí, ¿ok? So the first word, dados, okay, the things you use, the things you roll when you're playing a game. And the second one, morir, pero con S. Sería él, ella, right? Everyone. También si usamos everyone o everybody, eso es tercera persona también, ¿no? Porque es un grupo. So everyone, todo el mundo muere, esa versión de muere ahí. Okay? There we go, my amigos. Those are your two words. I want to know what they are and if they sound exactly the same or not. Also, let me give you today's Say What soundbite. Here it is for the third time.
I mean, come on. What are you, suckers? From the minute you wake up in the morning, there it is. CNN, Facebook, Twitter, the violence, the mudslinging. This campaign is disgusting. I mean, Batman versus Superman.
Listen carefully. Can you hear that? No. Listen closer. I'm not talking about the birds chirping. I'm talking about everybody speaking English and feeling comfortable. Listen. This is what it's like at Vaughn Town, a peaceful place where you can really learn English and lose your inhibitions. There's a reason it's one of our star programs. Vaughn Town, lose your fear of speaking English. If you want more information about this immersive experience, go to grupovaughn.com or give us a call, 911-385831. Lose your fear of speaking English and express yourself with clarity at Vaughn Town. That's right, folks. Vaughn Town will not just change your English, it'll change your life. And if you think I'm overstating that, exagerando, try it. You'll see. And I can tell you, because when I saw it once, maybe 15, 20 years ago, I was curious. I asked one of my students, I said, I heard you went to Vaughn Town this summer. What was it like? ¿Qué tal era? And the student raved. Like literally could not stop talking. Oh my God. And luego esto, y luego and I was like, okay, wow. Oh, wow. All right. And then when I saw that wasn't just one student who reacted like that, it was all of the students who had attended this amazing initiative, then I saw that there was a certain magic behind Vaughn Town. So if you want more information about Vaughn Town, one of our star programs, as you know, you can find out more about this experience at grupovaughn.com. Also, if you'd like to stop by, pasarte, you can stop by our offices in Madrid, Barcelona, Bilbao, Vigo, Valladolid, Valencia, Santander, and Zaragoza. All right, let's go on over here to our chat room and see what the students are saying. Born to Iron Man, you gave us the second word is not the word I'm looking for, though. And he says they sound alike. You gave us the word pigmentos, tintes. Okay, we looked at that word. In fact, we looked at that word when we looked at the word dado. So, you're telling me they sound alike, but I can't judge it. I will answer your question and tell you if they do or don't, but it's not the word we're looking for. Let's see. Okay, then he says, but and don't sound alike. All right. Let's see. Vero, she says, to me, and are not homophones. Laura says they don't sound alike. Mariona says they aren't homophones. Anik says they are homophones. Chris Valrol says they're not homophones. All right. Well, this is a real simple way to clear the air over here. The first word, dice. Dice. Okay, we said to roll the dice. Tenemos una expresión, no dice. No, lo siento. Hey, Alberto, can I borrow your car? No dice. No, it's not happening. A ver cómo lo traducen. Como no va a pasar eso. Olvídate de eso. No dice. No dice. Me encanta. De ninguna manera. Ni borracho. Me encanta. Ni borracho. Ni loco. You want me to drive you to Palencia? No dice. No dice. Okay. Also, we have the expression, however you slice it or dice it. To slice es cortar en rodajas finas. To dice, hemos dicho, como dados, right? So however you slice it or dice it, the show with no name is a great, fun, interactive show, right? Does everybody agree with that statement? All right. Okay, so the first word, dice. Dice, que en español se escribe dice, right? Dice, but it's dice. And the second word, okay, I will say, el que tira los dados morirá.
He who rolls the dice dies. Muere. He who rolls the dice dies. Dice, primera palabra, dies. Dice, dies. Do they sound the same? Absolutely not. Well, kinda, but no. Kinda no cuenta aquí. So the first word, dice, rhymes with, vamos a decir estos, por favor, en voz alta. Dice rhymes with rice, rhymes with lice, piojos. Say all these words with me. Así sabemos que no solo sabes esta palabra, pero dominas lo que es ese sonido que lo verás en muchas palabras. So, dice, lice, twice, rice, nice. Es una S pura y dura. La A es cortita, no es muy larga. Nice, nice, dice, rice. No es right? It's a quick vowel sound. And the second one, dies. The vowel sound is extended. It's a little bit longer, and it ends in the Z sound, right? So listen again. He who rolls the dice dies. And dies rhymes with rise, rhymes with exercise. Zzz. Es ese sonido zzz ahí. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. And Born to Iron Man, to answer your question. All right. Dice versus dies sound alike. Nope. No, they don't. So your second comment is correct. Your first one is incorrect. Why? Because the word dies, as we said, you use dye when you make clothes. They use it in food. Tinte, tintura, colorante. En plural, that word sounds exactly like morir con ese. So he dies every time he consumes those dyes. No, that's what they say. Those food dyes. So the word dyes, tintes, tinturas, colorantes, sí que es homófono de morir, pero no con dice. All right, so I hope I cleared that up for you. Excellent job, everybody. Excellent job. All right, we've got to move on, though, because it's time for today's news report.
This is the news report on the show with no name, bringing you the latest breaking news. I'm Alberto Alonso, reporting live.
All right, folks, welcome to your news report. This is where we talk about news, not like the news that everybody's sick of, you know. Tipos de interés. But shut the fuck up. STFU. Shut the fuck up. No one cares. Well, yeah, we care, but we have enough of that. Here we talk about wacky news. Quirky. Poco convencional. All right, I want you guys to finish this sentence here. Humpty Dumpty. Can you finish it? Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Tuvo una gran caída. My daughter loves this one. Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. This is a classic, folks. Do you guys have Humpty Dumpty in Spain? I mean, I can't imagine my childhood without Humpty Dumpty. So Humpty, the whole thing goes, Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. Oh, it's a classic. Hey, Laura, you knew it. Nice, Laura. All right. Well, this story takes us to Cape May, New Jersey. Beautiful area, by the way. Excellent. It's full of these like antique houses with the wraparound porches. Los porches que envuelven toda la casa. I mean, they're gorgeous. You can even search for Cape May, New Jersey. Well, the reason I tell you, a lot of times when we think of New Jersey, what do we think of? Newark Airport. No, la gente que va a New Jersey normalmente está pasando por el aeropuerto Liberty, como lo llaman, or Newark, which is officially one of the worst airports in the world. And that's one of the most industrial areas in the world. I mean, you're right across the river from New York City. So a lot of people think that's New Jersey, but actually, New Jersey is the state with the highest property taxes. Okay? So a lot of rich people living in New Jersey. Why? Because they work in New York City and they live in New Jersey, right? They want the big wraparound porch, right? So Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. What do you mean? Well, what happened was there's a mini golf or putt-putt. That's another way to say mini golf. Putt-putt, because you putt. And a playful, colorful statue of this nursery rhyme icon was forcibly removed from a structure at the mini golf course in Cape May, New Jersey. And it was, nunca mejor dicho, dumped down the street. Y lo tiraron, pues, un poco más adelante, en la misma carretera. So yeah, sounds like a prank, right? Bored kids getting into trouble. Sounds like something I would have done when I was a youngster, you know? So what happened? Well, local police in Cape May, New Jersey, said that they are looking for two men who are seen on video, and basically they parked in front of the Ocean Putt. Remember, putt. And this was at 4 a.m., las 4 de la madrugada. And the video shows one of them trespassing, we say, and entering the golf course by climbing over a fence, grabbing the statue, and then rocking it, meciéndolo, trying to make it fall by rocking it back and forth. And finally, they were able to disconnect it from its foundation, de sus cimientos. And what did they do? Well, they took it with them. They walked off with it. And it was a statue of, as you can already guess, Humpty Dumpty. He had a big white head, red cheeks, a yellow bow tie. Humpty Dumpty, I think, is an egg, but it's never been confirmed. This is one of the mysteries of Humpty Dumpty. People say, is Humpty Dumpty an egg? Well, he looks like an egg, but you never hear it confirmed that he was an egg. So he's just Humpty Dumpty, all right? And they found the statue. Mini golf courses, they have these statues everywhere. It's what makes it a mini golf course. It's fun. There are clowns. There are different, cartoon characters. And they found it several properties away. So they were only able to get it down the street, which proves it was a bunch of youngsters who were up to no good. Buscando el mal. That's right. Because if not, they probably would have taken it. If they were smart, they would take it, see if they could sell it on the black market. But no, they just wanted to, let's see if we could take Humpty Dumpty. Yeah, cool, man. I doubt they have cameras in 2025. My grandma has cameras, and she's dead. You catch my drift. So a message was left at a phone number listed for these people called Ocean Putt Golf. And what they did is they're asking people to try and identify the two men who were seen. The good thing, they have multiple videos. And Cape May, I've got to tell you something. Cape May is kind of small. It's a small community. Okay, in the summer, it's packed because it's a beach town. But in the winter, you've got your residents, and it's like some of these beach towns in Spain. You go down to Almeria or Roquetas, any of these places in the summer, it's triple the population, right? So, these pranksters, we call these people pranksters. And of course, that's what they did. He fell down. Well, he was torn down, derribado, and then they dumped him down the street. Again, the word dump is tirar. In fact, a dump es un vertedero. You take garbage to a garbage dump. Pero también significa cuchitril, right? I think, is that the word you say? Que es una palabra graciosa, cuchitril. Man, clean up your room. It's a dump. Also, the word to dump is to break up with somebody. She dumped him because he was always complaining. So there you go, folks. Crazy stuff. Again, it's not your traditional news, but what were these guys thinking? Were they thinking nobody was going to see them? I mean, this is stuff we did when I was a kid because we knew there were no cameras, right? There was no, internet and connected to you. Because now the owner of the place can watch you from his phone and say, okay, police, yeah, the guys are there. Can you go and stop this robbery in progress? So now they've taken to social media to see if they can identify these Humpty Dumpty robbers. And that is your news report, folks. Now, before we hit our commercial break, I'm going to leave you with a little challenge. It's double trouble.
Double trouble, baby. Yeah, you know what time it is. Give it up. Double trouble. I said double trouble. Double trouble. I said double trouble.
That's right, amigos. That's right. It is our double trouble here on the show with no name. Oh, wait a second. Yeah, it is double. I thought it was going to be a triple. Well, lately, if you've been paying attention, I've been doing a lot of triple troubles. So today, you can breathe a sigh of relief. A sigh, un suspiro, S-I-G-H. And relief es alivio. So everybody, let's breathe a sigh of relief. There you go. All right. No voy a permitir que me incites o incitas. He dudado ahí. I need you guys to help me. El subjuntivo de los cojones. All right. So no voy a permitir que me incites o que me incitas. All right. Let me guess. I'm going to go with one. No voy a permitir que me incites. Me quedo con el primero. ¿Incites? Is that right? Or is it incitas? Oh, man. I hate your I love Spanish, but it's really a really hard language to master. I've been at it for 47 years, and I still haven't mastered it. So no voy a permitir que me incites. Me niego a tirar huevos a la comisaría. Hey, talking about pranksters, bored kids getting in trouble. There you go. So no voy a permitir que me incites. Me niego a tirar huevos a la comisaría. Okay? So awesome stuff. We got two great structures there too. No voy a permitir que y me niego a. Very good structures. All right, well, we'll take a look at that and so much more in the fourth and final part of today's show. It's incites. Okay, cool. O sea, my first guess was the right one. Cool. Thanks, teachers. Sois mis profes. We'll be right back with the rest of today's show, so stick around. Hey, amigos, welcome back. Welcome back to the fourth and final part of today's show with no name. I can't freaking believe it. Are we really in the fourth part of the show already? My God. Wow. All right. Well, we've got a lot of stuff to cover. You can bet your bottom dollar. Claro que sí. Apuéstalo. We're going to take a look at our Say What soundbite for the fourth time. Nobody's figured it out yet. We'll see if somebody can get it word for word in this last listen. We're going to check our double trouble. So far, nobody knows it. Oh, wow. I'm surprised. I had a feeling, I had a hunch it was going to be easier. Hang on. There's Laura taking a stab at it. Great. We'll take a look at that. Also, we've got life hacks. These little tricks that can help you in almost any situation. Also, name that movie, famous birthdays, name that lyric, and so much more. And when this show is all over, you are in for a treat. That's right. Ale will help you speak with confidence. Download the free Vaughn Radio app, and you can learn with us anywhere for free. That's the key. I'm a poet, and I didn't even know it. Wow, look at that. All right, is everybody ready? Here's your last listen of today's Say What soundbite. Let's see if somebody can crack the case.
I mean, come on. What are you, suckers? From the minute you wake up in the morning, there it is. CNN, Facebook, Twitter, the violence, the mudslinging. This campaign is disgusting. I mean, Batman versus Superman.
Alberto, viene Tom Cruise al hormiguero y tengo que decirle una cosa. Tengo que decirle, vamos al lío. ¿Cómo se lo digo?
Vamos al lío, tío. Eso es facilísimo. Piensa en la canción de DJ Tiesto. Let's get down
to business.
Give me
One more night together.
Let's get down
to business. Let's get down to business. Ah, lo sabía, pero no sabía que lo sabía. Aprende inglés con canciones, películas, videojuegos, series, personajes, onomatopeyas. Todas las cosas que te rodean están en inglés, pero no te das cuenta de que ya las tienes en la cabeza. Solamente hay que colocarlas. Y para eso, utiliza nuestro tercer libro, This Book is the Shit, por Alberto Alonso
y Damián Moya.
Así da gusto aprender.
Oh, yeah.
That's right, folks. You can pick up This Book is the Shit at vaughntienda.com, or wherever fine books are sold. All right, let's see what we've got over here. We're taking a look at our double trouble, and there is Laura. Laura's taking a stab at it. She says, I'm not gonna let you egg me on. Excellent. So far, so good. I'm not going to let you egg me on. I'm not going to throw eggs at the police station. Excellent job. Or I refuse to. También, no me niego. I refuse to do that. Refuse con el infinitivo es me niego a hacer tal cosa también. So I'm not going to let you egg me on. Yeah, to egg on, to encourage, but normally in the bad way, right? Like, come on. Think of the punks. I'm sure in our news report today, one of those guys was like, come on. Let's go steal Humpty Dumpty. Come on, let's do it. We're going to be heroes. So there's always one person egging the other person on. ¿Sabías la palabra huevo, right? Of course. Well, also to egg somebody on is to try and get them to do something. So I'm not going to let you egg me on. I refuse to throw eggs at the police station. Good idea. I wouldn't do anything like that. It's not, especially in my country, they'll come out shooting. Okay. Let's see. Mariona says, could it be something like, I'm not going to let you egg me on? Absolutely. I refuse to be egged on into throwing eggs at the police station. Great. Vero, I'm not going to let you egg me on. I'm not going to, or I refuse to throw eggs at the police station. And we also have Anix as well. Excellent job, folks. Wow. I thought nobody got it. And in the end, 5 people got it. So excellent job, Laura, Mariona, Vero, and Anix. Okay, four people got it, but excellent job. To egg somebody on is to try and get them to do something, and to throw eggs at es lanzar huevos a algún sitio, a una persona. Don't throw eggs at me. Don't throw eggs at the police station either. Y la estructura, I refuse to. Okay, me niego a hacer tal cosa. I refuse to throw eggs at the police station. Excellent job in our double trouble. It's time to move on now to life hacks.
These are the life hacks you need to know.
All right, amigos, life hacks. Now, we've looked at hacks around the house, hacks in the office, and this one is one that could really get you out of a bind. Okay? Sacarte de un apuro, literally. Okay? Now, what happens? It happens often. Not so much here in Spain with snow, but with mud? Sure. What does that mean? That means your car can get stuck, right? And nobody wants to get stuck in the mud. De hecho, me recuerda una expresión. To get stuck in the mud es que te quedas atascado. But to be a stick in the mud, que el verbo stuck es el participio de stick. O sea que, so a stick in the mud. A ver cómo somebody who's just boring, they won't take risks. Persona poco aventurera. Persona aburrida, cerrado. Come on, man. I'm egging you on. Don't be a stick in the mud. Okay. So to be a stick in the mud, to be a boring person. Okay. To get stuck in the mud is something I hope never happens to you when you're driving your car, but it happens, right? It's happened to many, many people. And some of the tips I'm going to give you right now apply to snow, but just remember, snow is its own entity, because snow, when it hardens, becomes ice, and it's no longer the same consistency, right? So the ones we're looking at today can be applied to snow, but really the ones I'm looking at today are mud, okay? So how do you get unstuck from the mud? If you're alone, you're stranded, varado, you say, and there's no tow truck around. Maybe your phone is out of battery. Well, it can be quite challenging. First thing you need to do, as with any situation, and I don't have to tell you this, is to assess the situation, right? Take a look around. What's going on? How serious is this? Is only one tire stuck in the mud, or are all 4 stuck in the mud? Because you're talking about a totally different situation, having all 4 tires stuck in the mud, right? Well, the first thing you want to do when you're assessing the situation is that. Take a look around, get out of the car, look, see what's going on, so you get a visual, right? And you can see how deep the mud is as well. Even looking for parts where there isn't mud. Maybe you say, well, if I maneuver, if I steer a little bit to the left, well, there's a hard patch there, está duro, and maybe I'll be able to get some traction and get out of the mud, right? So that's part 1. Assess the situation. The second part, clear the area. Maybe you've got things in the way, right? Maybe there are other obstacles aside from the mud. So you can remove any debris. Se escribe debris, pero debris es basura, cosas que hay por ahí, okay? And this will help your tires, because what we're trying to do is get these tires to grip, but they won't in snow or mud. Now, this is one that I've been telling my students for years. and it really works, floor mats. That's right. You know the mats in the car, the ones that you never clean, but you should from time to time? Those can get you out of the mud or out of the snow. Now, what I don't know, though, is the more modern cars, do they have floor mats? Are floor mats still a thing? Well, don't worry, because another thing you can do is you can use cardboard, papel de cartón. Yeah, sure. You have to wedge it, just like you would do with the floor mat. You wedge it between the tire that's affected, or tires, and you drive out, right? And believe me, now you have some traction and the tire can grab onto something. But if you don't put any traction, the only thing you're going to do by hitting the gas, el acelerador, is you're just going to get deeper and deeper in the mud, right? So you're just going to get more and more stuck. So that's why you have to assess the situation before you start, okay, I'm just going to slam the gas, slam. No, that's actually counterproductive. So look for things that can grip, even branches, right? Pieces of bark from a tree, right? La corteza de un árbol. All of those things will grip a tire, right? And all you need is a little corner sometimes just to pull out of that mud. And then the rest, just that little momentum, that little bloop to get over it. And if not, you could be there for a long time, getting really, really stressed out. Also, you can use rocks, right? Rocks, gravel. Gravel is like pavimento suelto. Anything that will create friction for the tire. Another thing we've always done too, rocking the vehicle. Now, rocking the vehicle, you can do by yourself, or you can do it with people pushing if you're in neutral. It just depends on, again, the situation that you've already assessed. So you know how serious it is or not. So what do? You rock the vehicle a little bit forward, a little bit back, a little bit forward, a little bit back, right? And the same thing if somebody's pushing, push forward, okay, let it fall, push back. And this rocking motion can sometimes get you out, especially if you use one of the traction aids that I mentioned. So it's kind of worth it to leave, some kind of mat. You can even get a door mat, the ones, el felpudo, and put it in your trunk, in el maletero, or a cardboard box, because usually once we realize we need it, it's too late, right? And that's the problem there. Also, you need to shift your vehicle into a lower gear, okay? Claro, the lower the gear, the more traction you will have, right? And another thing, reduce weight. That's another thing, right? If you've got a lot of weight in the car, you might want to take out some of the extra weight. Maybe you've got 4 passengers. Well, while you're trying to get out, you should get those passengers away from the car too. Do not hang out near the car, because remember, the car is behaving in an unpredictable way. So it could skid right or left, and then you could have a worse situation. Another little trick or hack to get out of the mud, decrease your tire pressure. La presión en los neumáticos. Right? I know what you're thinking, but what? Well, it'll grip better with less air. But don't deflate them too much, because then you can get a flat tire, un pinchazo. Another thing you should have in your trunk, especially if you live in an area where you could come across mud, a shovel. Yeah. Well, this way you can dig around it, and you could put dirt over that mud, right? The shovel, you can do a lot with a shovel. You can even use the shovel to help you get out, right? So shovel, there's no substitute for a shovel, and they cost like $10. But again, when you need one and you don't have one, you would pay $100 for that same shovel. And obviously, if you're realizing that none of this is working, you can always call for help, right? You can call, I know in the United States, we have what is called the AAA, the Automobile Association of America. In Spain, you have another one, right? RAC or something like this. So, and I think the last thing, and this one we can apply to any situation, stay calm, be patient. It's not the end of the world, right? You don't want to have a heart attack because you're so stressed out now because your car's stuck in the mud, right? So some life hacks that could help you next time you're stuck in the mud. And we learn the expression to be a stick in the mud. All right, amigos, time to move on, though. It's time for Name That Movie. Name That Movie. That's right, amigos. It's Name That Movie here on the show with no name. All right, here we go. Now, this is going to be, if you know the director, then, and you know his most famous movies, then I think it should be pretty easy because the synopsis starts with the director's name, Mel Brooks. Okay, ya ahí pues son 10, tiene que ser uno de 10 películas, right? O 20. Mel Brooks brings his one-of-a-kind, único, his one-of-a-kind comic touch, su toque cómico, to the history of mankind. Ahora se dice humankind, porque mujeres también, ¿no? Covering events from the Old Testament to the French Revolution in a series of episodic comedy vignettes. I've heard people say vignettes as well. That would be the French pronunciation. No, escenas cortas, viñeta. I think you say the same thing there. All right. So something to do with history as told by Mel Brooks. I almost gave you the title right there. So, all right, let's take a look at the scene in the meantime. Mademoiselle Rimbaud says, Your Majesty, I was raised in a convent. Me criaron en un convento. I don't indulge in pleasures of the flesh. O sea, pleasures of the flesh, el sexo, cosas así, right? Los placeres de la carne, right? And indulge es consentir, mimar, right? Darse el gusto. So, I don't indulge in pleasures of the flesh. And King Louis says, you don't put out, he don't get out. Okay? Now, to put out is darle lo que busca. So, I remember we used it. I can give you the context from when I was a kid. So, oh, I really like that girl. She's so beautiful. And your friend would say, she doesn't put out. Ella no es así. She doesn't, no, se corta. No avanza más en ese. So to put out in this means to give up, to give some sex. Okay. And he goes, he don't get out. Sería doesn't, pero claro, muchas veces lo usamos mal, el don't. In música, en películas, as you know, it's poetic license. And Mademoiselle says, Your Majesty, I simply don't do it. Simplemente no lo hago. And King Louis says, come on, you do it. You love to do it. We all do it. You do it. And Mademoiselle says, no, I don't. And King Louis says, I do it. I love to do it. I just did it, and I'm ready to do it again. Don't tell me you don't do it. So there you go, folks. Chris, you got it. It is History of the World. Mel Brooks and his movie History of the World that came out in 1981. Wonderful job. All right, we've got to move on, though, because it's time for famous birthday trivia.
Birthdays for you. Famous birthdays for me. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name. Famous birthdays for him. Famous birthdays for her. Famous birthdays for everyone on the show with no name.
That's right, amigos. It's famous birthdays here on the show with no name. Let's see who's celebrating a birthday today. Perhaps I have given you some clues along the way. Also, a nice round of applause for Chris Valrol. She has figured out our Say What soundbite. Great job. We'll take a look at that in just a moment. All right, number one, this guy was born in 1963. He is the lead singer and bass player of the group Primus. Primus. Se escribe, se dice Primus. And if you've never heard of these guys, I beg to differ. You know the opening music of South Park? Going down to South Park, gonna have myself a ball. That's him. Okay? So you have heard Primus, even if you haven't heard Primus. And they have one of their most famous songs, if you want to check it out, is My Name is Mud. Hey, we looked at that word mud a lot today. My name is Mud, not to be confused with Jack or Peter. It's a great, if you've never heard Primus, check out the album Sailing the Seas of Cheese. Now, again, I'll use the word I used before. It's quirky, but very, very talented. What a bass player, and it's not your everyday music. Number two, she was born in 1942. She was an American actress and singer. And she did a lot of work with Mel Brooks, in fact. She was in What's Up, Doc? She was in Young Frankenstein, High Anxiety, The History of the World, which we looked at today, and also Paper Moon, Blazing Saddles. And, well, if you don't know her, then you might not know who I'm talking about. But our last birthday boy was born in 1957 today, and he's a stand-up comedian and actor from New York, and he rose to prominence in the 80s doing quirky, dirty nursery rhymes. Hickory dickory dock. Some I'm not going to continue. You can take a look on your own because you want to get censored? We'll definitely get censored. So this guy, I mean, but that's how he made his name, being offensive. Again, you don't have to listen to him. You don't have to like him. I personally, I don't really follow him too much, but his nursery rhymes, his dirty nursery rhymes, remind me of my childhood. He was the biggest thing because, man, he's irreverent. He was trying to piss people off before, people got very, very offended. And still, people wanted to cancel him. I mean, he was being canceled before it was popular to cancel people. All right, let me give you today's famous birthdays. Number one, Les Claypool. Check out Primus. They're awesome. Number two, Madeline Kahn, actress Madeline Kahn. And number three, Andrew Dice Clay. Hey, we looked at the word dice before, and we said it's not pronounced like dies. Andrew Dice Clay. All right, let's take a look. This is Andrew Dice Clay in our Say What soundbite. And he says, I mean, come on. What are you, suckers? ¿Qué sois, mamones? From the minute you wake up in the morning. There it is. Ahí lo tienes. CNN, Facebook, Twitter, the violence, the mudslinging, echándose mierda. Mira, otra vez la palabra mud. The mudslinging. This campaign is disgusting. Of course, everybody thinks he's talking about the presidential campaign. And he goes, I mean, Batman versus Superman? I would say versus, but he said verse. Here he is, birthday boy, Andrew Dice Clay, or as they call him, the Dice Man.
I mean, come on. What are you, suckers? From the minute you wake up in the morning, there it is. CNN, Facebook, Twitter, the violence, the mudslinging. This campaign is disgusting. I mean, Batman versus Superman.
Hi, hello, Alberto. I think the song is... No? Sorry, bye.
Name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric, name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. Name that lyric only on the show with no name, the show with no name, the show with no name. It's name that lyric only on the show with no name.
Excellent job, everybody. Thank you so much for your energy, for your effort, for your good vibes. As always, it's a pleasure to be here with you, and we're going to come back tomorrow and do it again, all together, laughing and learning. And today's song, remember I told you should listen to Primus? Well, don't worry. I've taken care of that. Here is Primus with My Name is Mud. Hey, there's been a common thread of mud in today's show. All right, folks, listen to that bass. Awesome. Does it sound like South Park? Of course. All right, ciao, amigos.